Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and an unboxing of a introductory level strategic war game, The Road to Independence, the American Revolution, 1775 to 1783. This is a historical game company, Blue Panther collaboration. Designer is Stephen.L.Kling Jr. Again, I like, and I have done reviews on Blue Panther Historical Game Company box sets previously. This one looked a bit different. It is an introductory level game, but what I liked about it is it's the American Revolution. It covers a lot of the war, if not all of the war, and it covers the eastern and western parts of the states rather than the typically focused on eastern areas. It's in the usual box. This is a second-hand copy. It's quite a weighty box actually, but hopefully you can kind of get a feel there. You're getting a standard sort of 22 by 17 map, player aids, some event location cards, 61 counter-strike markers, 20 plus custom dice, quite unusual for a game like this, and a rulebook. This is for age 14 plus, hour to an hour and a half playtime, and 1 to 2 players. So in theory, you should be able to solitaire this. But this is the first in a series of games simulating the American history. Take the sides of British and the Americans. You'll vie for control over all 13 colonies. I believe the dice are primarily what you're going to use to fight over these different areas, and the information you need from what I gather is actually on the map. So this is a very different approach to some of the games that we've looked at previously, but you see the artwork there is really lovely. You get this nice rulebook, 15-page publication. To be fair, it's spaced out very well. You've got examples here of play. It's full colour. It's set out very spaciously, which is great. Yeah, it doesn't look too complicated to follow. Everything is very nicely set out graphically, so you can follow everything very well. So quite impressed with that. The counters obviously have already been punched. This is a second-hand copy, and as you can see, some of these are more about control and representing things to do with that, and attacks, but not specific unit counters. Custom dice, very nice, representing the various factions. They've got slightly different facings depending on what you're using. So British are red with a navy dice here. You've got the colonials, which I believe are in brown, the American continentals in this sort of bluey colour, Spanish. You've got French in there as well. Hessians are black, and then you've got this sort of funny colour here, which I think was more for natives, so Indians, things like that as well. So hopefully that gives you a flavour. The white dice are the French. Alright, so some nice custom dice there. And then you've got these cards. So you've got British events. So I think these are all the events. I don't think they're just British. Let's just take off the cover here and show you those, if I can get this off. These are great, but they're very difficult to get off sometimes. Let's there we go. So you've got British events and you've got American events, and you can see this is where your Chrome comes into play. Lots of things all linked to the period, which is really nice. So that's really nice. And then you've got these location cards which are represented on the map I'll show in a moment. And these are kind of telling you what armies are in each of these locations. So this is why you don't have specific units on the board, because you can see from this what you're going against. That's my understanding so far. So quite interesting. I'll just take these ones out as well. If I can get the screens off to show you those. Let's have a look. Here we go. So you can see all the various places there. And these are the British ones. And you've got Spanish ones as well. So quite interesting how they've done that. Very different dynamic to the game, which is quite nice. You've got, I say, quite a lot in this box, because you've also got these combat examples with important rules, so quite handy when you're in the game. Dice groupings by theatre will be really useful when you're coming to roll, so that's really interesting. And then you've got this beautifully produced map, which lends itself to a canvas option. The actual box doesn't say canvas, but I read online that the maps were canvas, so whether this is an early edition and that they've been added in since, this map it's lovely paper stock, but it would look super in canvas format. So I'll just zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see that. So you've got, again, a lot of your key information: map key, game turn track, VP track, British naval dice roll boxes. Over here you've got your order of play, and as you'll see as we zoom in on each of these look very similar to the cards I showed you earlier. So this very much is the map of the US, with the Wilderness Theatre you'll see there, Eastern Theatre, all the elements kind of covered there to sort of give you a flavour of where your game will be fought over. You've got connecting rivers, roads, sea lanes, ports where the anchors are. So there's some quite interesting dynamics to the game. It's very different, but potentially I think quite interesting. I've read some really good things, particularly regarding the designer. He's a student of this period, so it'd be really interesting to see what chrome has been encompassed with the cards into the game. But very much looking forward to getting this one on the table. Something a little bit different. That's The Road to Independence, the American Revolution, 1775 to 1783, from Stephen.L.Kling Jr. An introductory level strategic war game produced by Blue Panther and the Historical Game Company. Hope you've enjoyed this video and look forward to bringing you more very, very soon.